Wow. Okay. So that's exciting. We have something that's going to help us grow and learn. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and watch this video on growth mindset. After the video, there are 3 questions that you'll be discussing in small breakout rooms. Okay. So make sure that you're paying attention so that you can answer those questions about the video when we get done. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen with you so you can watch that video. Remember, guys, during the video, stay on mute just like any other time. That way everybody can hear their sound. Okay, so here we go. Let me get that out of the way. Awesome. All right. So this is Mojo, and he's going to learn about growth mindset. Here we go.
Chapter 1. Mojo discovers a secret about his brain. A secret that will change the way he looks at the world forever. Our story begins with Mojo, a friendly monster who loved school, especially math. Until one day, when something terrible happened. The math problems got harder. Nothing made sense anymore. Mojo had a devastating thought. He just wasn't smart enough for school. It seemed the only reasonable thing to do was pack his things and leave forever. Just then, he heard his friend Katie laughing. "Mojo, you can't just give up," she said. "I have no choice, Katie," said Mojo. "You're either born smart or you're not. And I realize today that I'm not." "Mojo, that's not how it works," said Katie. "Anyone can be smart. You just have to work at it." "That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard," said Mojo. "It's not ridiculous, it's science," said Katie. "Neuroscientists studied the brain for years and discovered an incredible secret, that your brain is like a muscle. When you try challenging things, like those hard math problems, you're giving your brain the exercise it needs to get stronger, which makes you smarter." "Ooh, is that really true?" said Mojo. "Of course," said Katie. "It's like how when you were a baby, you didn't know how to talk, but you kept trying, exercising your brain, until one day you could." Mojo couldn't believe what he was hearing. If your brain was really like a muscle, did that mean anyone could become smarter? Even him? He turned to ask Katie, but just then, she had to be off to her next class. But maybe you can answer Mojo's question. What do you think? Can Mojo become smarter? What about you? Now that's an interesting question indeed.
All right. Stop sharing that. Okay. So you are going to go into some discussion rooms or some breakout rooms to discuss this video. All right. And I'm going to I shouldn't have stopped sharing the screen yet. Here we go. First question. So the first question, why does Mojo want to leave school? Can you sometimes relate to how Mojo is feeling? So why does he want to leave school? And maybe have you ever felt that way? Can you relate to that? Okay. So I'm going to send you into some breakout rooms and I will copy that question into that box for you so that you can see that question. And some of you actually might have a special visitor. We have Miss Wiles and Miss Bram with us today, and they are going to be joining us just to learn a little bit about how we're Zooming and getting around. So you might have them in your group with you. All right. So I'm going to send you to these rooms. Please accept that invite and get ready to answer that question. So I was able actually this time to hear some discussions because I could hear Miss Wiles and Miss Bram's screen. I'm interested to see who has related to Mojo before. Who's felt like they didn't want to be in school? I'm interested. Let's hear. Zandon, can you share with us? Have you ever related to Mojo? Remember, you got to hit that unmute button. There you go. Have you ever felt like Mojo before where you didn't want to be in school?
You gotta answer that question. Yeah.
What made you feel that way? It was just your mood for the day, huh? That's all right. I've been there. I've had a mood before too. All right, Zandon, thanks. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see our second question for discussion. Second question that we are going to discuss is, do you think Mojo can become smarter? Why or why not? So Mojo is really frustrated because he felt like he didn't have what it takes. But do you think he can become smarter and figure it out? I want you to go discuss that question with your groups and go. Mojo was frustrated. He felt like he didn't have what it takes and he could not learn it. But I'm curious, do you think we can get smarter? Miss Camille, what are your thoughts? Do you think you can get smarter? Where'd she go? Miss Camille, you with us? Oh, that's why. Camille, remember, if your headphones don't have a microphone, you'll have to unplug them so that we can hear you. So unplug your headphones if you want to talk, and that way we can hear you. Awesome. Go ahead, Camille.
What was your question?
Do you think you can get smarter?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
By practicing.
Oh, so how would I get smarter at learning how to read?
You keep reading.
I just keep reading. Okay, thank you, Miss Camille. That's great advice. Let's hear from Mr. Anton. What do you think, sir? Go ahead and unmute. Do you think you can get smarter?
I think that you can learn.
Yeah.
How would you do that? How would someone get smarter?
Giraffes can't
Because they don't
I
look
love
at
this
stuff,
book
and
because
that's how they
giraffes
get
are one of
more
my
and
two
even more
favorite
Did you say-
animals. And
Say it again.
so that's part of why I love this book. But I
They're
also love
working
this
too
book
much.
because
That's how
the
they
giraffe
get
in here
more
has
and
the
more
growth
smart.
Oh, so they would keep working on it. So they would keep trying and working on whatever they're trying to get smarter for. Nice. I heard somebody in a group say by sleeping, and that helps your brain to grow, and that helps your brain to renew itself so that it can function and it can make connections. And I thought that was a great idea. Awesome. All right, our last question for discussion. I'm going to pop that up for you here. What subject do you feel frustrated by sometimes? And this word subject means like school subjects, so math, reading, writing, social studies, science. So what kind of learning do you feel frustrated by sometimes? And how might you get better at that subject? So which one frustrates you and how would you get better? Okay, I'm going to open those rooms one more time. Good for me to get to know you as learners. So could you do me a favor and in the chat, could you type the subject that you get frustrated by sometimes? So do you get frustrated by math or reading or writing? Go ahead and type that in the chat to me so that I can see. Yep, it is private. It's just to me. The whole class can't see it. It's just to me. Brayden, if you're on a phone still, sorry, buddy, until you get that computer, you might not be able to do that. So I know that that's a frustration, but you don't have to tell me the whole day because I know that you're on that phone, okay? All right, good. I'm seeing a lot of people's answers. I'm waiting on a couple more. Again, it's private. It's just to me. The whole class can't see what you're telling me. It's just going to be to me. Miss Sophia, do you have a question?
Your screen is like doing boom, boom.
Sophia, let me plug in my headphones so that I can hear you a little bit better because I'm having a hard time. So give me one moment, please, and then I will be right with you. And it's not your computer, it's my computer. It's just so quiet. Hold on. There we go.
Mister, your screen keeps lagging out. Computer.
It's doing the same thing to mine.
Okay, there we go. Sophia, what did you say?
Your screen is like doing
Okay, so that might be your internet connection. So maybe try moving somewhere else in your house to make it a little bit stronger. But if it doesn't stop, then it might just be the Zoom connection, and I'm sure the company of Zoom is working on that. All right, I see a lot of people shared that with me, and that's good for me to know because then I'm able to help you in those areas, and I know that you're going to need some extra support. So thank you for being honest. It's also important that we're aware of where we need to grow, right? So we all have areas where we can get stronger and we can get better. For me personally, I'm trying to become better at teaching math. So that's where I'd love to grow. I know that I feel really good about teaching reading. I think I can do that really well. But sometimes in teaching math, it takes me some extra time. So that's where I'm learning to grow as well. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. So we will watch one episode of that each week. So next week, we will find out if Mojo figures out how to work to get smarter. So we're going to check that out with him next Tuesday, okay?